Hello, my name is Marcello. Welcome to the Source AV Design Group's YouTube channel. Happy New Year. Today we introduce a very special product from our friends at Audma, the Brioso PHPA1 portable headphone amplifier and DAC, which for the first time combines the innovative Alisa circuit into a portable device. In this video, we will examine the build quality, design, and sound performance of the Brioso tested with several headphones, and briefly compare its overall sound to my current reference portable solid-state amplifier and DAC. If you haven't watched our video on the Audma Maestro HPA1, let's first get you acquainted with who Audma is and what the Alisa circuit entails. Audma is an Italian audio company. The father of Alisa, a proprietary technology, was invented by Cesare Mattoli, an electronics engineer. Cesare wanted to solve an age-old problem with headphones and fundamentally change how they reproduce sound, making their sound more speaker-like in presentation. To accomplish this, Cesare and Audma created their patented Alisa electronic loudspeaker imaging simulating amplifier technology. Alisa creates an acoustic illusion that makes headphones sound more like speakers, and once you experience it, you'll never want to listen to headphones without Alisa. It achieves this by processing stereo signals through a network of controlled delays and crossovers. Alisa reprocesses sound by mixing part of the right signal into the left channel and vice versa, simulating what happens when listening to a sound system in a room, according to Audma. The Alisa system is operated using 3 push-pull controls on the top of the unit. The first control is the on-off Alisa button. When pressed in, it lights up orange to show that the Alisa circuit is active. And when pressed again, the light turns blue, indicating the Alisa circuit is no longer active. The next push-pull potentiometer is the angle control, which adjusts the width of the stereo image from a more focused, narrow setting to a very wide one, depending on your preference and headphone pairing. The next control is the stage, which adjusts the perceived distance of the sound image, making it seem closer or farther away. I especially love using this to bring the vocalist closer to me while listening, enhancing vocal intimacy. Lastly, the Brioso adds a very welcome feature separate from the Alisa controls, bass compensation, which lets you emphasize low frequencies below 125 Hz. This sounds fantastic, especially for headphones that can use a bit more sub-bass and bass to bring the music to life. I really like the circular texture on top of all the controls, as well as the fact that once you have the Alisa or bass settings you want, you can fully press down the potentiometers, which effectively saves your listening preferences for the headphones you're using. The most prominent control at the top of the Brioso is the volume control, which also acts as the power switch when turned clockwise. All the physical controls feel well built and enjoyable to use, with good resistance and smooth rotation. The Brioso is crafted from fully anodized aluminum with a smooth silk-like finish that feels gentle to the touch and helps resist fingerprints. Anti-slip rubber inserts are included to prevent the Brioso from slipping off surfaces. It's expertly designed both visually and in the hand. At the bottom of the Brioso, there's a 3.5mm unbalanced headphone output, followed by a balanced 4.4mm Pentacon headphone output. I primarily use the balanced output for listening, which sounds fantastic. Next to the headphone outputs, there are 3 switches. The first adjusts the output drive from +3 to +10 volts, providing more voltage for harder to drive headphones. Pair this with the following 2 switches that control selectable output gain from 0 to +16 and 0 to +8, or when combined from 0 to +24 output gain, and you have a very portable device that can power even some of the most difficult to drive headphones in existence. Audma states that the Brioso is compatible with all headphones having a nominal impedance above 6 ohms. It lists the power ratings at 32 ohms as 2 watts, at 64 ohms as 4 watts, and at 150 ohms as 2.7 watts. Next to the adjustable output drive and gain switches, you'll find the USB-C charging port, followed by the audio input section, which includes a USB-C digital input and 2 analog inputs, one balanced and one unbalanced. This makes the Brioso highly versatile for such a small device. The Brioso weighs only 240 grams and measures about 3.19 inches wide 0.75 inches thick and 5.43 inches long, as shown next to my older iPhone 14 Pro for comparison. It's a very convenient size for portability. The Brioso comes with a 2-year warranty when purchased from an authorized dealer and registered with Audma. It includes 3 cables, 1 Lightning to USB-C cable, 1 USB-C to USB-C cable, and a longer USB-C charging cable. The box also contains a user manual and a signed thank you card from the founder. The Brioso has an internal rechargeable battery that lasts up to 5 hours, according to Audma. To estimate remaining battery life, turn off the Alisa circuit, which will cause the ring around the potentiometer to turn blue. When the circuit is off, the remaining charge is indicated by 4 quadrants. A full blue circle shows 100% charge. 3 quadrants indicate 75%. 2 signify 50, and 1 represents 25%. The LED will flash when it's time to recharge. For digital analog conversion, the Brioso PHPA1 employs 2 AKM DACs, the AK4499EX-EQ and the AK419EQ, selected by Audma for their accuracy and velvet sound technology, supporting resolutions up to 32-bit PCM at 768 kHz and DSD-256 with automatic PCM DSD switching. The Brioso has a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, plus or minus 0.01 dB, and a signal-to-noise ratio of 115 dB. The Audma Brioso is superbly built with an excellent design philosophy. The device offers a fantastic user experience and is easy to operate. It doesn't require memorizing colors for specific filters and provides more user control over bass and the Alisa circuit than my reference Hugo 2's warming filter and XP-HD for Chord's version of Crossfeed. The unit does get warm to the touch during use, but never becomes hot when sitting on my desktop. Speaking of desktops, the advantage of the Brioso over the more expensive flagship Maestro HPA1 is its size. If you have limited desktop space and still want the impressive Alisa circuit and sound profile of Audma with your favorite headphones, the Brioso is your new best friend. So at $5,000, the Brioso is far from a budget product and sits at the high end of the HiFi market, but for good reason. It easily powers nearly any headphone in a small form factor, features excellent sounding digital analog conversion, and provides extensive user control over the sound. So let's discuss how the Brioso sounds. I would describe the Brioso as having a neutral sound signature that is very detailed and technically proficient without ever sounding analytical. I've always been a big fan of AKM DACs and their velvet sound. When paired with a neutral sounding amplifier, they are some of the best audio products I've heard. The Brioso, like the Maestro from Audma, belongs to a class of my favorite HiFi amplifier DAC setups. The first headphones I listened to with the Brioso are currently under embargo and can't be discussed yet, so you'll have to stay tuned for that video. However, I was able to quickly and easily improve a few aspects of the headphones to better suit my sound preferences using the Alisa stage and bass compensation without getting into the weeds with EQ. The second pair of headphones I listened to with the Brioso is one of my favorite headphones in existence, the DCA Expanse. They are also the most difficult to drive headphones I have in the house. They required a bump in the output gain to the plus 16 dB setting to reach proper listening levels with ample headroom. The bass sounds tight, transients hit hard, imaging stays stable, and the DCA Expanse headphones sound effortless. I enjoy the Brioso sound signature when paired with the Expanse without needing to engage the Alisa circuit or any bass compensation. The DCA Expanse gets things right for me with most well-implemented DAC amps. However, using the Alisa circuit with the angle at 45 degrees and the stage at negative 18 dB elevates an already excellent sounding set of headphones to a new level for me. This demonstrates the power of Alisa. Listening to Lebanese Blonde by Thievery Corporation and toggling the Alisa circuit on with my settings is very tastefully done, preserving the music's timbre and tone while adding more vocal intimacy and focus imaging to the headphone soundstage. Listening to All That We Perceive from Thievery Corporation is an absolute joy. While I don't think the DCA Expanse needs anything from the bass compensation of the Brioso, experimenting with the bass compensation between the 0 setting and the 37 Hz range adds a nice tasteful lift in the sub bass that many listeners may really enjoy. Listening next with a Yamaha YH5000 SE headphones to the Tripping with Nils Fromm album, one of my favorite albums to listen to with these headphones. The Audma Brioso pairs well with the YH5000 SE headphones, not overly exaggerating some of the higher frequencies of the headphones, which can become excessive with more analytical sounding amplifiers and DACs. Adjusting the bass compensation first while listening to the track Sunsen was fun. I enjoyed increasing the bass in the 37 to 68 Hz range with the Brioso. Experimenting next with the Alisa circuit with the YH5000 SE and the Tripping with Nils Fromm album, while I like the staging of the YH5000 SE as is, and it's one of my favorite parts of the headphones, increasing the angle from around 45 to 90 degrees with the Alisa circuit adds extra width that is quite spectacular and only enhances the level of immersion I experience when listening to this masterpiece of classical and electronic music. Although this album was not recorded binaurally, it sounds highly spatial and immersive due to the use of multiple room and ambient microphones, excellent audience capture, natural venue acoustics, and very careful post-production and spatial balancing. Listening to the Meze Elite and Lana Del Rey playlists on Tidal, starting with video games, and the Brioso and Elite pairing sounds great as it is. However, it's clear to me that some subtle adjustments with the Alisa circuit can further enhance my listening experience. No bass adjustment was necessary for my preferences, as the Elite already delivers excellent bass, and Lana's music naturally features quite prominent bass in its production. The Alisa's angle was a welcome addition, however, to the music, and the Elite headphones landed on the 90-degree angle for my preferences. For the stage adjustment on the Alisa circuit, I really enjoyed the -18 dB setting. I listened to the Brioso PHPA1 with 11 different headphones and found it sounded magnificent with all of the headphones I have in the house, including the planar magnetic headphones discussed so far and several others like the DCA Noir X, the DCA E3, and DCA Noir XO. For dynamic driver headphones, I listened to a pair of top secret headphones still under embargo and several high impedance models from Sennheiser. For the sake of time and the length of this video, I chose one of the most popular headphones in the world, the HD650, so I could share my impressions of its sound when paired with the Brioso before wrapping up the video. If you're familiar with the HD650 or one of the 6 series variants like the HD600, both of which are 300 ohm headphones that many listeners love, but many owners also share the same complaints about the soundstage size, performance, and bass response or lack thereof. So the first thing I did was play a Pink Floyd playlist on Tidal and listen to how the soundstage and bass performed without any bass compensation or Alisa circuit. The first thing I found beneficial for the sound was increasing the output drive from +3 volts to +10 volts, which provided more headroom and improved peak performance and dynamics. The HD650 delivered improved macro dynamics, stronger bass authority, and a greater sense of ease and openness with the extra voltage. I also increased the output gain to +8, putting the headphones in their optimal listening range. Without any other changes, the HD650 paired with one of my favorite bands of all time, Pink Floyd, sounded spectacular with a beautiful mid-range, magical intimate vocals, and epic guitar strings on Wish You Were Here. Bass compensation was very helpful with my sweet spot landing between 68 Hz and 125 Hz depending on the track. On another brick in the wall, part 2, moving from the 0 mark on the bass compensation to the 125 Hz, made the percussion instruments come alive, allowing you to really feel and hear the punch. This was a real game changer for the HD650. The guitars also now possess more body and bottom, which is very enjoyable. Huge thumbs up for the tasteful implementation of bass compensation with the Sennheiser HD650. Next, I adjusted the angle to see how wide we could make the HD650 sound and to address a common complaint about the 600 series headphones, the dreaded 3-blob stage. In this case, adjusting the angle to the 90-degree setting or slightly higher provided noticeable improvements in the soundstage. Next, when using the stage Alisa control, I prefer a more assertive approach by adjusting the stage from -6 dB to 0, Pair this with the angle settings and the well-known 3-blob soundstage on the HD650 transforms into a more immersive left-to-right experience with enhanced depth, width, and a more speaker-like presentation, which really comes through on One of These Days by Pink Floyd. Let's briefly compare the Hugo 2 to the Brioso in terms of sound and performance so you can clearly understand the capabilities and sound quality of the Brioso versus a popular portable headphone amplifier and DAC. I'll be honest, I prefer the Brioso sound quality, ease of use, and size. As a DAC only, the Hugo 2 delivers excellent, clean, neutral, and analytical sound, and has good synergy when paired with warmer leaning tube amps. For straightforward headphone listening from a device, the Brioso is my favorite all-in-one portable headphone amplifier I have heard to date. I prefer the Audma's neutral amplification combined with the velvet sound of the AKM DACs inside the Brioso. Additionally, the extra voltage output drive provides greater headroom and improved performance with high impedance headphones. Add the additional power output and output gain selectors of the Brioso that match many full-size desktop amplifiers, allowing you to drive some of the most demanding headphones with a portable device, the Alisa circuit, and bass compensation, and you have, in my opinion, one of the best sounding and easiest to use portable headphone amplifiers and DACs in the world. While the XPHD on the Hugo 2 sounds good, I still prefer the implementation of the angle and stage on the Brioso. Using the warming filters on the Hugo 2 is very helpful for achieving a more natural, less sharp sound. However, I still prefer the more emotional, non-analytical, yet neutral sound of the Brioso and the ability to adjust the sound to my personal taste with the bass compensation. This feature can warm up things if I desire or provide better bass performance for headphones that really need it. I'm still a fan of Korg products, and I am not criticizing the Hugo 2 at all. I just want to share my thoughts on why someone might choose the Audma Brioso instead of the Hugo 2. As always, it's great to visit our 10,000 square foot showroom in Southern California, which offers the largest headphone selection to listen to in person in the USA. You can try out all the audio products you're considering purchasing to ensure your sound preferences are met. Another outstanding product from Audma. The Maestro HPA1 impresses with its build, design, and sound quality, and now the Brioso PHPA1 delivers that same exceptional sound and craftsmanship in a portable package. Bravo! We've been selling out of the Brioso every time we restock it. If you're thinking about buying one, visit us online, check the links in the video description, or stop by our store. We're always happy to help you build your dream audio system without any pushy salespeople. TSAV also offers a great rewards program where you earn points to redeem for discount coupons on future purchases. And we've expanded our financing options, so check them out and sign up for the rewards program today. We have some exciting videos coming this year featuring new product announcements, so please consider subscribing to our channel. From $100 earphones to multi-million-dollar home audio, cinema, and automation, TSAV is a hi-fi paradise for building the system of your dreams. This is the part of the video where we'd encourage you to share your thoughts on the Brioso in the comments. Let us know what you think. Until next time, friends, remember, let the music be your guide.